The scary part about quantum computers is not that your bank account will be hacked tomorrow. The scary part is that some data being stolen today could become readable years from now. That is why people in cybersecurity talk about post-quantum encryption. And yes, the topic sounds complicated. Quantum computers, encryption standards, algorithms, future attacks, government migration plans. It sounds like something only scientists and cybersecurity teams should care about. But here's the twist. Even if you are not a cybersecurity expert, post-quantum encryption still affects the digital world you live in. Your banking apps, your emails, your health records, your private messages, your cloud storage, your work documents, your online shopping, your identity, all of these depend on encryption in some way. So when people say quantum computers could break some of today's encryption, they are not talking about a small technical issue. They are talking about the locks that protect a huge part of modern life. Welcome to Cyber Safety Brief, where we explain simple cybersecurity advice for everyday Americans. This video is based on authentic, legal, and publicly available cybersecurity information. Everything here is for awareness and protection only. We are not teaching hacking, bypassing encryption, breaking systems, or anything harmful. This video is about explaining post-quantum encryption anxiety in a simple way so normal people can understand what is real, what is exaggerated, and what they should actually do. In my opinion, the biggest problem with this topic is not only the technology, it is the fear. Some people hear quantum computers will break encryption and think everything online is doomed. Other people hear it and ignore the whole thing because it sounds too futuristic. Both reactions are wrong. This is not a reason to panic, but it is also not a reason to ignore the issue completely. The right response is preparation. So today, let's break this down clearly. What is post-quantum encryption? Why are companies and governments preparing now? What is harvest now, decrypt later? What does this mean for everyday people? And what simple habits should you focus on while the technology world makes this transition? Stay with me, because near the end, I will give you a simple checklist for normal users, small businesses, and content creators. 1. Encryption is the invisible lock behind everyday online life. Before we talk about quantum computers, we need to talk about encryption. Encryption is what helps keep information private when it moves across the internet or sits inside systems. When you open a banking app, encryption helps protect the connection. When you visit a secure website, encryption helps protect the data being sent. When companies store sensitive information, encryption may help protect that information. When digital signatures are used, they help prove that something is authentic and has not been changed. In simple words, encryption is one of the invisible locks behind the internet. Most people do not think about it, and that is the point. Good security usually works quietly. You do not wake up and say, "I hope my encrypted connection works today." You just open your app and expect it to be safe. But encryption is built on math. Some of today's widely used encryption systems depend on math problems that normal computers find extremely hard to solve. A powerful enough quantum computer could change that for some types of encryption. That is where the anxiety starts. The way I look at it is this. Quantum computing is not scary because it is magic. It is concerning because it could change which math problems are safe to rely on. That is why post-quantum cryptography exists. It is about creating encryption methods designed to resist future quantum attacks. 2. Post-quantum does not mean after the disaster. The phrase post-quantum sounds dramatic. It almost sounds like the world ends, and then we create new encryption afterward. But that is not what it means. Post-quantum cryptography means cryptography designed to remain secure even against future quantum computers. It does not mean every current system is broken today. It does not mean your phone is suddenly unsafe. It does not mean every website is exposed right now. It means experts are preparing for a future where some older encryption methods may no longer be enough. In my opinion, this is the healthiest way to understand the topic. Post-quantum encryption is not panic mode. It is seatbelt mode. You wear a seatbelt before a crash, not after. You back up files before a computer fails, not after. You update security before attackers take advantage, not after. The same idea applies here. Governments, technology companies, banks, cloud providers, and security teams are preparing because encryption migration takes time You cannot change the locks of the entire internet overnight. Old systems exist, old devices exist, old software exists, old protocols exist, old contracts and vendors exist. So even though the most serious quantum threat may not be immediate for everyday users, preparation has to begin early. That is why this topic matters now. 3. The real anxiety is harvest now, decrypt later. Here is the part that makes cybersecurity teams pay attention. It is sometimes described as harvest now, decrypt later. That means an attacker could collect encrypted information today and store it. They may not be able to read it now, but if quantum computers become powerful enough in the future, they may try to decrypt some of that old data later. This matters most for information that needs to stay private for a long time. Medical records, government information, legal records, business secrets, long-term financial records, personal identity information, sensitive emails, research data, private communications. For a normal person, this does not mean every message you send today will be read tomorrow, but it does explain why serious organizations are planning ahead. If data only needs to stay secret for 5 minutes, future quantum risk matters less. But if data needs to stay private for 10, 20, or 30 years, the future matters more. What most people underestimate is that cybersecurity is not only about today's attack. Sometimes it is about how long the data stays valuable. That is why post-quantum encryption anxiety is different from a normal password scam. A password scam is immediate. A fake website is immediate. A phishing message is immediate. Post-quantum risk is long-term, and long-term risks are harder for normal people to understand because nothing dramatic appears on the screen. No pop-up, no red warning, no stolen account today. Just a quiet question. Will this data still be safe years from now? 4. Quantum does not break everything equally. Now we need to slow down the fear. Quantum computers do not mean all cybersecurity disappears. They do not automatically break every password. They do not automatically read every message. They do not automatically empty every bank account. The main concern is that a sufficiently powerful quantum computer could threaten certain public key encryption and digital signature systems that are widely used today. That is still serious. But it is not the same as saying all security is useless. There are different types of cryptography. Some are more affected by quantum computing than others. Some systems can be strengthened by using larger keys or different methods. Some need new post-quantum algorithms. Some will be handled by software updates, browser updates, app updates, cloud provider upgrades, and vendor changes. For everyday people, the important point is simple. You are not expected to personally redesign encryption. You are not expected to choose post-quantum algorithms yourself. You are not expected to manually upgrade the entire internet. That job belongs to technology providers, standards bodies, governments, security teams, and software companies. Your job is to use trusted products, keep them updated, avoid scams, and protect your accounts. In my opinion, this is where people should be careful. Do not let quantum anxiety distract you from basic cybersecurity. Most people today are still more likely to be harmed by phishing, reused passwords, fake investment scams, malware, and account takeover than by a quantum computer. So yes, post-quantum matters, but do not ignore the ordinary threats that are already happening. 5. NIST standards are a sign of preparation, not panic. In the United States, NIST has been working on post-quantum cryptography standards. That matters because standards help companies and organizations move in a more organized way. Instead of every company guessing what to use, standards give the industry a clearer path. NIST finalized post-quantum standards for general encryption and digital signatures. These include new names that may sound technical, like MLKEM, MLDSA, and SLHDSA. For most viewers, you do not need to memorize those names. Here is the simple version. MLKEM is connected to protecting information exchange. MLDSA and SLHDSA are connected to digital signatures, which help verify authenticity. NIST also selected another algorithm called HQC as a backup for future post-quantum encryption planning. Why does this matter? Because it shows that the response is already underway. This is not a random internet rumor. This is not just fear content. This is a real cybersecurity transition. But it will happen gradually. Browsers will update. Apps will update. Cloud systems will update. Banks and healthcare systems will update. Government systems will update. Vendors will update products. Organizations will inventory where they use encryption and decide what needs to change first. The way I look at it is this. Post-quantum encryption is less like flipping a switch and more like replacing the plumbing in a city. You cannot see all of it. It takes planning. It takes time. And if it is done badly, things can break. So careful migration matters. 6. The biggest challenge is not only math, it is migration. People often think the hard part is inventing new encryption. That is hard, yes. But another hard part is migration. Where is encryption used? Which systems rely on older methods? Which devices can be updated? Which old systems cannot? Which vendors are ready? Which data needs long-term protection? Which systems are critical? Which certificates, protocols, applications, and devices need attention? For large organizations, this can be a massive project. Banks may have many systems. Hospitals may have many systems. Universities may have many systems. Small businesses may depend on cloud tools, payment systems, websites, email providers, and vendors. Most of them do not build encryption themselves. They rely on other products. That is why organizations need something called crypto agility. That simply means the ability to change cryptographic methods without breaking everything. In beginner language, it means, do not build systems that are stuck forever with one old lock. Build systems so the locks can be replaced when needed. What most people underestimate is that security updates are not only about fixing bugs. Sometimes they are about preparing for the future. That is why ignoring updates for years can become risky. If your phone, laptop, browser, router, business software, or website platform is no longer receiving updates, it may not keep up with major security transitions. In my opinion, one of the most practical post-quantum habits for everyday people is boring but important. Use products that still receive security updates. That habit matters now, and it will matter even more during big technology transitions. 7. What everyday people should do today. Now let's make this practical. What should an everyday person do about post-quantum encryption? Not panic. Not buy random quantum protection products from strangers. Not believe scary ads that say your accounts are already doomed. Not click links from people claiming they can make your phone quantum safe. Not pay for fake security tools you do not understand. Instead, focus on real security basics. Keep your phone updated. Keep your computer updated. Keep your browser updated. Use official apps. Use strong, unique passwords. Use a password manager if possible. Turn on two-factor authentication for important accounts. Avoid suspicious links. Do not reuse passwords. Be careful with crypto and investment scams. Use trusted cloud providers and services. Replace old devices that no longer receive security updates. For sensitive accounts, use companies that take security seriously. Here is a realistic example. A normal person hears about quantum computers on social media. A scary post says, "Encryption is dead. Buy this special protection tool now." That is exactly the kind of fear-based marketing you should be careful with. Post-quantum readiness is real, but scammers can use real topics to sell fake solutions. In my opinion, quantum anxiety could become a scam theme. Just like AI scams, crypto scams, and fake antivirus scams, scammers may use quantum buzzwords to pressure people. So if someone messages you saying your phone, wallet, email, or bank account needs urgent quantum protection, slow down. Go to official sources. Check your real provider. Do not install unknown software. Do not pay through strange methods. Do not give remote access to your device. Real security improvement does not usually begin with a random message from a stranger. 8. What small businesses and creators should think about. Now let's talk about small businesses, website owners, and content creators. You do not need to become a cryptography expert, but you should start asking better questions. Who hosts your website? Who handles your payments? Who manages your email? Who stores your customer data? Who manages your cloud files? Who provides your security certificates? Who maintains your software? Are your tools updated? Do your vendors mention post-quantum readiness? Are you keeping sensitive data longer than necessary? Do you know what data you actually store? For many small businesses, the post-quantum transition will happen through vendors. Your cloud provider, your website platform, your payment processor, your email provider, your IT support, your software vendors. So the practical step is vendor awareness. Ask, are you preparing for post-quantum cryptography? Will updates be automatic? Do customers need to take action? Which systems are affected? What is your timeline? You may not need the answers today for every tool, but asking the questions helps you understand whether your providers are paying attention. The way I look at it is this: small businesses do not need to lead the post-quantum migration, but they should not be completely blind to it either. Start with inventory. Know your tools. Know your vendors. Know your sensitive data. Keep systems updated. Do not store information you do not need. That is good cybersecurity even before quantum becomes a practical threat. Practical checklist for post-quantum encryption anxiety. Here is a simple checklist. Number 1, do not panic. Number 2, understand that the risk is real but mostly long-term. Number 3, keep devices, browsers, and apps updated. Number 4, use trusted services that maintain security updates. Number 5, protect your accounts from today's real threats like phishing, scams, and password reuse. Number 6, be suspicious of anyone selling urgent quantum protection through fear. Number 7, small businesses should ask vendors about post-quantum readiness. Number 8, reduce unnecessary storage of sensitive data. Number 9, follow official guidance from trusted sources. Number 10, remember that preparation is the goal, not panic. Let me ask you this. When you hear quantum computers could break encryption, what is your first reaction? Concern? Confusion? Skepticism? Or do you think people are overreacting? Comment your answer below. Also comment quantum if you want a simple beginner checklist on post-quantum cybersecurity. Now let's recap. Post-quantum encryption anxiety comes from a real issue. Future quantum computers may threaten some of today's widely used encryption systems, but that does not mean your accounts are automatically unsafe today. It means the digital world needs to prepare. Encryption protects banking, email, healthcare, cloud storage, websites, and digital identity. Some data stolen today may still matter years from now. That is why harvest now, decrypt later is a serious concern for long-term sensitive data. NIST has finalized post-quantum standards. Organizations are beginning the migration. The hardest part is not only new math, it is finding and updating the many systems that depend on older cryptography. For everyday people, the best response is not panic. Keep your devices updated. Use trusted apps and services. Protect your email. Use strong, unique passwords. Turn on two-factor authentication. Avoid scams using quantum buzzwords. And stay informed through reliable sources. I do not think post-quantum encryption should make normal people feel helpless. I think it should remind us that cybersecurity is always changing. The locks we use today may need to be replaced tomorrow. And that is okay, as long as we prepare before the door is already open. If this video helped you understand online safety more clearly, please like the video and subscribe to Cyber Safety Brief for more simple cybersecurity advice made for everyday life. Stay alert, stay informed, stay safe online.